if you're not feeling as important as you should be, it's most probably because you're around the wrong people, and you just gotta, take yourself, out of that, because God will always put the right people in front of you. He'll always lead you or lead them, and for you lot to come together. So he'll always put you around. You just gotta trust God, because He's the one who will link you with the right people, where they will appreciate, your role. They will appreciate your importance. Someone that might be looking for someone to work with, their business might not be able to hit a certain level until they've come across, the person that God wants them to work with. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, in a relationship, certain people, certain men can't reach a certain level until, they've linked up, they've found the right person that God's ordained for them. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's the same vice versa. Certain women can't, be in the right relationship peacefully, at peace, and until, they meet the right person who God's called for them. Never be around people that don't make you feel that you're worth anything. You just gotta make sure you stay away from people that don't make you feel that you're worth, that don't make you feel important, because you are important and you're special to God because you're a child of God. As you look around, what's going on in the world right now, in the different countries where you've got, the fire that's burning down all people's homes, that's burning down all these places. The fire just came out of nowhere and people are losing their homes. Do you get what I'm saying? So imagine how hard that might be for those people. And the other day I was thinking, like, how come them sort of things don't really, hasn't really taken part within where I am, where I've been. Do you get what I'm saying? And I just had to thank God that He's always been protecting me. And one of the things that came to my head is like, certain things, certain events can't take place or won't take place until we, a child of God, until you have reached that building, reached that place, reached that location, or you've left that building, left that place, left that location. For today's example, we're going to have a look at Genesis 18 verse 26. It's a story about Lot and his family and Sodom and Gomorrah, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. And when you get time, you can have a read. But I'm going to have a look at Genesis 18 verse 26, where God says He will save Sodom if He finds 50 righteous within the city. And this chapter basically just shows me, God's love to His people, for His people. It's like to the point where He won't destroy a city if He finds a few good people in there. And this just goes back to what I was saying, how you are important. People like us, the children of God, a child of God, it's important that we keep on serving, keep on obeying, because remember, God is the one that orchestrates everything. Sometimes we'll be thinking, oh yeah, it's the devil, but it's God who has to allow it. Do you get what I'm saying? He's the ultimate, person that's controlling everything. So He won't permit certain things to happen if, as a child of God, if He's like, you know what? Nah, my child is there, so nah, that's not gonna take place while they're there. Like the Scarface thing. You need people. No, not even Scarface. Who says it normally? You need people like me so you can point a finger and say that's the bad guy. I think it is Scarface, isn't it? Yeah. So it's like they need people like us, and it's not so that they can point their fingers. It's more like we are the ones that, when God's looking at a town, looking at a city, looking at where you live, and He's like, I feel like, causing something here, or allowing the devil to do his thing over here, and He'll be like, nah, like, my guy's over there, or my daughter's over there. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, he'll stop it from happening. And that's what this chapter is basically saying. You know what, he's prepared, even though as much as he hated what was going on, he was prepared to save it if he can find a few righteous people within there. And Lot's family, Lot was one of the people that he he ended up finding there that he wanted to save. And then what he ended up doing was, the angel visited Lot, and then, told him about what's going to happen. And Lot then went around and started telling them that, look, this is about to happen and we need to get out of it. But because a lot of people are so, caught up to the flesh, they're so caught up to this life, to this world, what's going on, they find it hard to detach themselves from these things, even if it's temporarily. Like, they just can't live without certain things. And like I said in one of my other videos, where Lot's wife ended up turning back when it was time for them to leave, because she still yearned, she still had that feeling of wanting what the world had to offer. So she ended up, what happened to her. And before they even left, when Lot was trying to tell his close relatives about leaving, most of them laughed at him at that point. They were just laughing. They didn't want to believe him. They just thought, nah, we're all right what we're doing, how we're living. And then they all ended up getting, caught up in the massa. They all ended up getting destroyed. So that's just what I was gonna say is important for people like us to continue serving God, continue obeying God, because we are the ones that God's gonna give the message to warn others. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you are the child of God, you are the one that He's shining His light through. If you're the person that He's doing that through at your place of work, then do you know what I'm saying? When people are, sometimes when you might be at your workplace and you got people looking down on you because they're just thinking, oh, this Bible believer, this guy, like, he's just, you know what I'm saying, he's a God guy. Do you get what I'm saying? All of that sort of things. You sometimes got to turn around and tell certain people, like, look, the only reason why this business is even flourishing is because people like me are still around. Do you get what I'm saying? Or, college, school, wherever. You could just be like, look, one of the reasons why God ain't burnt down this school probably is because I'm still attending it. Like that. So you just got to walk with authority and just got to realize that we are important. As much as people might look at us and feel like you're not that important, you're just any guy, you need to let them know that, look, do you get what I'm saying? You need this light. Do you get it? How else is God going to be able to shine light through onto this earth? It's through people like us. So if we're not there, then it's going to be total darkness. It's going to be another Sodom and Gomorrah. Do you get it? It's already getting there right now, but we're saving you're saving your area from being burnt down. Do you get it? So you got to realize how important you are, even if it's just you and a couple other people in your area, in your business, in your wherever you are, that's trying to follow God, trying to connect and build a relationship with God authentically. Then you are one of the reasons why God's still letting certain businesses prosper. The righteous can, lead those who are blind. That's why it's important for some of us to not pass judgment on other people, because remember, we were once blind ourselves. So it's like we just gotta try our best to guide people, lead them, and just enlighten them and wake them up. But don't take too long with that, because it's up to them to change. Because like we saw on the Lot story here, where he tried to tell his people and most of them laughed, and time was ticking. He had to go, and he managed to save him and his wife and his children. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's basically trying to show us that, look, there's a time frame, there's a time limit. If someone's not listening, if you're trying to show people this and you're trying to enlighten people and show them a different way, basically trying to save them, if they're not hearing you, then you just got to keep it. You just really got to move with the times. Do you get what I'm saying? In Genesis 19, verse 18 to 22, and basically what's happening is God's angel is, telling Lot to hurry up. He's trying to tell him to hurry up because they can't destroy the town, the city, until he's actually left and reached a safe place. I remember a time when I went on holiday and I booked 2 different places to stay, in 2 different locations, apart from each other. And I remember I went to this first place, I stayed there for a few days, and then, it was time for me to go to the other place. And as I went to the other place now, literally it was like a day or two later when I was in a second location, I saw on the news that the exact hotel where I was staying at, the exact place, location where I was staying at, and my first place, the first location, was it a tornado or hurricane or something? Basically, something happened at that first location, and the hotel where I was staying at before was affected. I think there was a few injuries. I can't remember if anyone died, but it was something very major. And if I had been there still, I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I'll still be here. That's why it's important to stay connected to God, because I didn't know that picking that second location, I didn't know what was going to happen. Something was just in my spirit that, I like that hotel and I also want to stay at this one. So it was all pre-booked. It wasn't like, oh, this is happening and then I'm changing. No, it was all pre-booked before I even, flew out. So it's just important, God's love for us, that's what it is. Part of it is for him to protect us. Certain things can't happen until you step foot in that building. Like certain companies won't be able to hit a certain level of success until you step foot in that building. Do you get what I'm saying? Certain schools might not be able to perform at a certain level until some of our kids enter that building. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where, like, you gotta realize that you're special and you're an important person because you carry the light of God within you. And once you walk into these rooms, you're there to shine the light on things, and reach high heights. Do you get it? So we got a God of abundance. So you're only gonna be, the level's only gonna be going higher and higher and higher because God's unlimited. So you just gotta remember that you're important and keep going. There's certain people that are waiting a big karma, but it's been postponed because they're attached, because there's still the right people around them. There's still people who God love, who are attached to them. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, for example, the Lot swing, his his people that he was trying to save, like, it was like they were still attached to him. So God was allowing them to be able to escape. But at the point where they made the decision, they were like laughing and they said, no, we're gonna stay over here. Lot had to, make that decision to leave. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's just like with you lot as well, with me, with us. It's like sometimes if you're around people who don't make you feel your worth and they're not taking it seriously and they're not seeing your importance, then you have to leave. You can't stay in that place, otherwise you're gonna feel the wrath of God too. So you just gotta keep it moving, because some people are waiting karma. You get what I'm saying? Some people are out there going around and just causing madness, and then they're attached to you, and you just gotta be careful with the company you keep and know your worth. So I just wanted to remind you that you are important and you are special to God as a child of God. And my name's been Forever Blessed Chris. Make sure you lock onto my next video, and please, it's hot, I'm sweating. And please make sure you like the video if it's helped you out in any way, and make sure you share it, and share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your colleagues, and I'll see you on my next video. Thanks a lot.